Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Lewis Speaks 2024, and today I want to talk to you all about the trouble with vulnerability. Oftentimes when you are vulnerable, when you put yourself and your feelings on display for the world to see, you definitely invite the criticism, the commentary, the negativity of other people into your sphere. Um, a lot of times people will use your words as ammunition against you. A lot of times people take that one dark night of the soul that you're experiencing and they will translate that and generalize that across the entire span of your life. They don't understand that this is just a moment that you're having. You're having a momentary breakdown slash breakthrough, and you need that compassion. You need that consideration. You need that support. But oftentimes, instead, what you will get is attacked. People, they say they want vulnerability and honesty, but yet and still, when you are vulnerable with them, and it's a level of vulnerability that they are not used to, that they were not raised on, or that they don't understand, they attack it. They attack. And so we as vulnerable people, we as empaths, we have to definitely zipper up, put on our emotional shield, and protect ourselves from the assaults of other people who, on one hand, enjoy our vulnerability, but on the other hand, attack us for it. It's unfortunate that we live in this world where you can't be honest without it costing you something, whether it be somebody's respect, whether it be their love. It's always costing us something in order to be honest with people. And this is why a lot of times people struggle with being honest, because they realize that honesty is oftentimes rewarded with loss, something that is taken away from us. And of course, this does not mean that people have to like everything that you say or agree with everything that you say or do. But at the same time, we need to leave some space where people can be vulnerable and honest about how they feel. I realized that after talking with some family members, it's better to keep certain things to yourself. It's better to basically get yourself a journal, get yourself a therapist, share it there. Because some people, even with family, and this is the kicker, your family is supposed to be a safe space, a space where you can open up and share your truth. But there are some family members that it's not a safe space to do this. It's not, because you will be attacked, you will be criticized, you will be shamed, you will be moralized, and no thanks. No thanks. And I think sometimes when you're vulnerable, people see you as this one thing, right? You become typecast in this one role. I give you an example. If you're always the type to talk about a failed relationship, right? You get typecast in the role as hopeless romantic. So people begin to see you through that lens. Therefore, that's the way that they treat you. They treat you with disrespect, disdain. They treat you as an afterthought because they have you in their mind as this hopeless romantic who nobody values, and so they don't value you. That's unfortunate, because you could be going through some dark time, right? This could be an experience, just a momentary experience, but this is how a person first meets you, right? So they begin to assign this role to you, because people are comfortable with categorizing you and compartmentalizing you. They want you to fit neatly into a box, and that's to keep them safe. The more they're able to know, we'll put that quotation marks, know you, classify you, and shove you in a compartment, the safer they feel, because then they can open that compartment later on and use you as they see fit. It's how they organize you into their minds. But some of us defy organization. Some of us are free. Some of us are more than one thing. We're not just this. We're also this, that, and the third. But a lot of people, they can't organize that. That's too much for them. So they want to deal with people who are safe. Those people who are just one-trick ponies that they could cram into a box and shove into a compartment, and that's it. But you know, some of us, like myself, I'm not easily, let me just say this, I'm complex. I'm not an easy person. But at the same time, I'm worth it. I'm creative, I'm unique, I'm different. But I think a lot of times people don't accommodate that difference. They don't make room for your differences. But yet and still they want you to make room for theirs. Where they do that at. But my thing is this, that's a different story. My thing is this now. People are different. They don't always fit into our idea, into our perspective about things, right? Sometimes they defy our expectations and our perception. And so we have to leave room for that, you know? And I think this is why a lot of people refuse to be vulnerable, you know, because vulnerability means that I have to step out of that perception that you have of me. I have to be, not even have to be, I am not who you think I am. And so I run the risk of you not loving me anymore, should you know the many faces that I hold within my body, within my energy, right? And so a lot of people, they want to keep on maintaining this image, right? Because they want to be loved, they want to be approved of, they want to be accepted. You know, people have two basic needs, right? And two basic desires. They desire to be liked and they desire to be right. So the thing is, if they want you to keep on liking them, they're going to have to continue to wear this mask to show you, I guess, what you want to see, you know. But vulnerability, it steps outside that box. It says, yes, I see that box, but at the same time, I don't fit into that box. I don't fit into the traditional beliefs that that box holds. I think, to be honest, none of us does. Especially if you're living in 2024, we don't fit into these boxes. But I think that people want you to fit into those boxes. They want to cram you in those boxes. It's easier for them. But you know something? Say all that to say this. Vulnerability is a tough business. It is a tough enterprise. It really is, because on one hand, people celebrate your vulnerability. Oh, I love your transparency. I love your honesty, right? But at the same time, they nail you to the cross, baby. They'll nail you to the stake. They will set you on fire like some torch-wielding villagers when you are completely honest. Your honesty, oftentimes, while it's seen as noble, it's really not appreciated in the grand scheme of things. Especially when your honesty hits a nerve within people. When your honesty charges people with the responsibility to change and take accountability, then your honesty is a problem. Your honesty is a problem that must be solved, that must be eradicated. And it's unfortunate. We praise vulnerability in theory. Theory. But the actual application of vulnerability, shing, off with their heads. You get invited to the guillotine. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but it's reality. That's the reality. When we think about our truth tellers, you know, you think about Jesus Christ, you think about Stephen. In the Bible, Stephen was a disciple, you know, and he told people the truth. Jesus told the Pharisees, the scribes and Pharisees, the truth, and they murdered him. They stoned Stephen. Truth tellers oftentimes are subjected to some real cruel and inhumane acts. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. And so I realized that I am a truth teller. And so I welcome I welcome the Facebook thugs, the Instagram gangsters, the keyboard gangsters, you know. Go ahead. Say what you got to say. You know, even with family and friends, they're always going to talk. Everybody's going to talk. I don't care what they say anymore. I'm impervious. You know, I deflect all the negative energy because I don't believe people anymore. I don't believe them in the sense that I realize that a lot of what they say is just a projection of their own insecurities. A lot of what they say is just a projection of their own jealousy, their own hate, their own envy, and they just project. That's all they want to do. They're not being honest with you. All they want to do is project their own hatred. A lot of people, if you want to know the truth, come here. Here's another truth. A lot of people are pathologically miserable. They are pathologically miserable. They can't be happy. They're curmudgeons by nature. They are just miserable individuals. So, here you are, dimming your shine, altering your behavior, the way that you move. For what? Stifling your vulnerability, your creativity to make them feel comfortable. For what? For what? You know, that used to be the old me, because I used to believe and trust people. I used to trust that people have my best interests at heart. I used to consider, 100%, I thought that they were giving me constructive feedback. I thought that, wow, this is constructive. I can take this. But you have to always take what these people say with a grain of salt. You have to take what they say because you also have to look at their lives. You have to look at what they have to gain by seeing you play small. A lot of people want to feel superior. They want to feel better. They want to feel like their lives are better than yours. But the thing about it is this: forget them. No one's life is better and no one's life is worse. We are all neighbors in the same neighborhood of life. This is the neighborhood of life. Welcome. So for those vulnerable ones, you know, I know it's tough. Me, I'm learning who is safe to be vulnerable with and who is not safe to be vulnerable with. That's what I'm learning right now. That's my karmic lesson, you know, and learning how to basically just not always spill out and bleed out for other people. Don't do it. Don't do it. Learn how sometimes to manage your emotions. Learn how to also dial it back sometime, just until you assess and survey the landscape, because a lot of spaces and a lot of people are not safe. They're just not safe to really be that beautiful, vulnerable person that you are. Vulnerability is not a bad thing. I'm here to tell you that right now. It's a beautiful gift. It really is. It takes courage. It takes genuineness, sincerity. It takes that. But at the same time, you have to protect those gifts because a lot of people don't deserve them. They don't. They don't. They have not earned your vulnerability. Have they earned it? That's the question that you need to ask yourself. Have they earned your vulnerability? They have not earned it. Therefore, they don't get it. So once again, I hope this video was helpful for y'all. Definitely, if you are vulnerable, if you prize vulnerability and transparency in relationships, that's a beautiful thing. But also learn who deserves such gifts. Learn to distinguish and discern who deserves that versus who doesn't. Peace, y'all.